Hello and welcome back to our Emergency Management 101 Toolkit. In this episode, we'll talk about some of the final products that you can generate, what they look like, how to generate them, how to print them, some of that. And so without any further ado, we'll jump into the toolkit. In a further video, we'll talk about kind of how to customize it. We'll walk through a few of those examples. So for this one, we'll just sort of skip ahead and we'll talk about our printing and our final products. So this one is designed as an implementation plan. You can see Control P brings up the print menu and stuff, how it pops out. Here, again, some customization that you may want to do, but it gives you an idea of how to go through and build a bit of a program around this, right? What are your timelines? Who are your instructors? What are your steps towards the delivery? We have a Google Sheets version. If you like that style of PowerPoint better, you sure can use it, but as you'll see here, we built a presentation into this actual toolkit for you. Another document that you'll probably want to utilize is the talking points or instructor guide. Again, the customization pulls in here as you make tweaks. Elsewhere, they come into here. What you can do is with the blue things on your customization, add in particular notes. If you've got specific things you'd want to touch on, you can do that. And then you can also sort of forecast how long you have. If you've got, say, an hour, right, we'll start at 9, we'll work for an hour. Here you can see with how long we think will be on each slide that we are actually running 10 minutes over. And so that's where we'll have to pick up the pace a little bit or schedule a little bit more time. But as you go through and you practice, you'll get a better sense of what time may be required. A few questions here, and again, then you can have this with you as kind of a short notes section where if you have things that pop up in the presentation you don't want to miss, you can jot them here and then come back and address them. We'll come back here to the presentation towards the end, but when you look at these, they are designed to print out, again, as little booklets. You can either print them in the 8.5 by 11 via PDF, where you fold them and you've got a kind of a pocket-sized one, or certainly 8.5 by 11. If you see here, we've got pagination issues popping up. Those are easy to fix. And this is just a reminder of kind of how you do that. So hit the edit custom page breaks here, and we can just double check that we are lining these things up. You can see how if you mess with stuff, they can move a little bit. But you can also see they're very easy to fix if they do somehow get off. So with that, we'll hit confirm breaks. You see it kind of lines up a little bit better here, and then we would just go to next, and the same kind of principle applies to any of our printable products. Once you get through this, it'll think for a second. This will pop up. It'll ask you how you want to save it. The recommendation would be to PDF, which gives you a few more print options, staples, booklet style, whatever the case might be, or embedding or uploading the document somewhere else. You can see how these kind of print out, little handy dandy booklet that again brings in some custom stuff from both the state and the locals that you can tailor these a little bit. The expanded version is similar to the first one, gives a little bit more detail, stuff that they might not need every day. You can see here are some overviews, some of the roles of an elected official before, during, and after. What is NIMS and ICS? What is an EOC? What should the policy group be doing? How to declare a disaster? And again, these will custom in. So here where it says WOES, when you change the front page, that will pull in your information, your abbreviations and whatnot. So you can see a few different details here of what you might be utilizing. As you kind of move through, right, samples, and they're numbered and labeled, that kind of give a sense of how the process works and flows. Various training things. So again, as you have some local stuff, you can farm it in there. So some of these have the little padlock. If you try to edit them, you can see it'll, well, I can edit it because it's under my profile, but generally if you try to edit that, it'll pop up and say you need permissions to do so. And you can see how we do that. What we'll do is change the permissions. There we go. And so the way we do that, if it asks you to edit something, and we'll just look at one of these others, they'll just give you a little warning, and you can ignore it and go on if you have something you want to fix up. And if you're in the wrong spot and don't actually want to edit it, it just serves as a little check. Again, this one is the Senior Officials Checklist right out of the IS 908 curriculum from FEMA. Sample job description, again, just gives them something to start with, and you can see they pull in various customized information from your front pages. May or may not fit your stuff. If you need to tweak it a little bit, feel free to do so, but we tried to write them fairly generic. Gives a sense here of another tool that you might put out, a proclamation, in this case for Preparedness Month, and again pulls in custom data to, again, hopefully help them think about top of mind stuff. When we talk about our final exam, you can see kind of what it is who you are, what are you going to do based on what you learned, what are you going to do in the next 3 months based on what we learned, and then again a little bit of a due date that you're hopefully going to go out and champion community risk reduction or review your emergency operations plan. So some of these might be NA, and again you can tweak them and customize them, but you get the idea of homework for your boss, right, if you will, the commissioner, the mayor, the governor. This gives them a little bit of a to-do list as they leave. Course evaluation, and again, hopefully you can farm in some continuous improvement stuff. And then last, a little note taker that again we can stuff in there that what to track for FEMA, and the idea here would be individual assistance, public assistance, if a disaster occurs. Some of this stuff that just gets your mind going. So if you have other local things you want them to track, you can certainly add them here. Back to the main part of this, the presentation. It takes it a minute to get the print preview loaded, but again, you can see it pulls in various custom pieces here, and we'll talk about in another video how to customize some of it. Once you go through some of that, it'll be up and ready as a PDF, and then when you go to the PDF, you open it in PDF, the actual Adobe product, not the internet browser. There's a view button towards the top, and when you select that, you then can click full screen and it will act like a PowerPoint with the ability to click the clicker or the mouse or the next buttons to skip from page to page. You also, from the Adobe version, can print it and then select again multiple sheets and create essentially a note taker version so that you can hand out the slide deck to your audience as well. You can see here though, as we work through a variety of print menus, we've got pagination with the custom page breaks to make it line up. Again, if yours runs off a little bit, feel free to, again, either edit the page breaks or go back and tweak some of the actual data, which we'll look at in another video. I think we might have froze our computer up here working on that, but as always, a reminder, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate your continuous push towards becoming a more effective, more efficient emergency manager, and hopefully these tools help you do so. As we move forward, right, as always, please do reach out to us with any questions, comments, feedback, ideas for other tools you'd like to see out there. And we are always open to emails and conversations to, again, make us better, make the products better. So thanks for joining us. Be safe, happy trails, and we'll see you on the next video where we talk about how to customize this, and we'll walk through an example of doing that. Take care. Thanks.